watching on YouTube. I'm super excited to be here with Priscilla in her beautiful restaurant. So, hey Priscilla.
Hey Kia, thank you for having me.
Yes, girl. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Priscilla Conyers. I am the proud business owner of Eggs Up Grill, located in Riverview, right outside of Tampa Bay. Girl, you know I wear so many hats. I'm a wife, I'm a mommy, I'm a clinical pharmacist.
Yes.
So now I'm definitely full-time entrepreneur, and here we are at Eggs Up Grill.
Yes, and I gotta say, I've been here a few times and I love the food.
Aww.
What do you have for us here?
Well, today we have an exclusive, Kiera. Hot off the press, literally. No one has not even tried this meal yet. This is our new crab cakes Benedict.
Yes.
We'll be featuring it this week coming up. This is our club sandwich. It has a scrambled egg, lettuce, tomato, as well as bacon, garnished with a pickle and potato salad.
Oh, yes.
And then this is the BLT. Oh, I'm sorry. This is actually the BLT. This is the club. So
I see that bacon.
Yes. So this BLT is it has bacon, lettuce, tomato, as well as lettuce and garnished with a pickle and potato salad.
Mm-hmm.
This is the club sandwich, also with potato salad. And this salad here is my favorite salad. It's the praline pecan chicken salad.
Ugh, I love pecans. Or pecans.
Pecans.
Well, thank you. This looks delicious, and I know I'm going to tear it up as soon as this is over, okay?
Can I join you?
But I was really excited to have this conversation with you because, of course, it's Black History Month. And what better time or what better way to celebrate Black history than by talking to a Black business owner, a woman, by the way, who is dipping and doing in our community. So tell us, how did you get started with this business?
Well, to be honest with you, Eggs Up Grill found us. It was really just a serendipitous moment. We were traveling to Albany, Georgia, and we stumbled across Eggs Up Grill. It's a franchise based out of the Carolinas. And so we went to Albany, Georgia, fell in love with the food, we fell in love with the culture, the overall vibe was so good, the service was just amazing. And we thought that we needed to bring something like that to the Tampa Bay area. And about a year and a half later, here we are.
Yes, and here you are because, like I said, I've been here like 3 or 4 times myself. And for you guys have started in November, right? It has really taken off in the Tampa Bay area, especially because there's not a lot of Black-owned businesses here in Tampa. So to have someone like you, young, okay, and involved in your community, like, I'm excited about it. When I saw you on the news, I was like, yes, this is so cool. So with owning a Black-owned business or just a business in general, I know that there's a lot of ups and downs with that. It's trial and error, maybe some sleepless nights. So what would you say your motivation was to keep going, especially in a pandemic?
Right, you're definitely right about being in a pandemic. My motivation, my why, are my 2 girls. I have a 5.5-year-old and a 1-year-old. And when I hug them at night just a little bit tighter, it keeps me motivated, it keeps me grounded, it keeps me wanting to just go harder and harder each and every day. So my 2 little rugrats are my real motivation on why we just keep going no matter what.
Yes, I love that for the kids. I would say for the last year of the podcast, last Black History Month, the focus was on empowering women, other women, by introducing women who were dipping and doing in their community. And so when I think about my why, I always go back to that because representation is so important. So being able to see someone like you who looks like me and is able to be so successful is so important for us to see that because we don't see that.
You're right.
So what do you feel about representation and how important is that for you at this time?
Well, you know what, to be honest with you, having daughters, it means a lot to see someone, like you said, you want to be with someone that looks like you. And unfortunately, a lot of times we don't always get that experience. So, you know, just being able to represent for the African American community, the brown community, for them to know that that's someone that looks like me and she was able to do it. I definitely enjoy having little boys and little girls with brown skin being able to look up to me and say that I can do anything I put my mind to. Although they may not see that every day, it's definitely important for me to lead by example to the best of my ability, because growing up, I was able to see young black women, older black women, entrepreneurs, and so that sparked a light bulb for me to become an entrepreneur, from selling candy on the side of the road, being the candy girl, as a child, and then, having several businesses along the way in my lifetime. Just wanted to be a beacon of hope, if you will, for other girls and boys.
That.
You like that?
I like that beacon of hope.
Really?
Because it is a bright spot. I mean, even being here and it's bright and you see those things, the words that say make you smile, man, like, I love that. I really do.
And that's one of the components that we represent here at Eggs Up Girl. We want to make our guests smile. We want our guests to be able to come in, be comfortable.
Yeah.
I know I've patronized several restaurants in the area, and I just didn't feel welcomed.
Girl.
I felt like I should not be there. And so here at Eggs Up Grill, we are the polar opposite. When our guests come in, they feel welcome. They feel like they are right at home, and that's the experience that we want them to feel. A lot of times we talk to guests while we're out doing our table touches, and they tell me, I can smell the bacon, I can see the coffee brewing, I feel comfortable, I feel right. And we have a positive energy, positive energy, positive vibes. And, that's just what we represent. That's what we're all about. And we want this to be your happy place when you come in and have some good food.
It definitely is my happy place, especially that French toast that y'all got. But we'll talk about that later. Now, when you talk about being a motivation and being that positive influence for other kids and things like that, especially your own girls, I have to ask you, who do you get that motivation from? And I'll tell you why I asked that question. So, in life, as a black girl, we always, we don't get to see ourselves a lot. In a lot of spaces, we don't show up. So that's why we say representation is so important. But as I talk to other black women, I always realized that there was this one woman or this one pivotal moment in their life where they were influenced or impacted by a black woman. And most times it was a positive experience. It was something that kind of changed their thought process, gave them an idea, and they kind of ran with it from there. A positive influence. And for me, that influence was my third grade teacher, Miss Campbell. And she was, I would just say, a light. She was boisterous, she was loud, she was unapologetically herself. And my 9-year-old self was like, yes, Miss Campbell. I wanted to beat her. I wanted to be around her. She was just so lively. And that was something that I hadn't experienced at such a high level, at 9 years old, being in a predominantly white Christian school. I didn't see a lot of us. So seeing her and seeing how amazingly positive she was, it sort of taught me at a young age that you can be yourself. Now, I'm not gonna say that I immediately took off and started being, unapologetically Kiara, but Miss Campbell's always in the back of my mind, and knowing that I can do that. And because of her, I think that she definitely was one of the major influences in my life that kind of put me on this track to being myself. So who was that influence for you?
You know what? That's a good question. Just like Miss Campbell started to sow those seeds into you at an early age, I would have to say my mom, hands down. Hands down, girl, it would be my mom. And that's just because she taught us to just be resilient, to never give up. Her and my dad, before he passed away, would always tell us, you're number one. Every single day we would wake up, it was almost like our mantra or affirmation. Back then, I didn't know what an affirmation was, but that's what it was, essentially. Wow. And I just take that and I hold that near and dear to my heart every single day, just for the things that she did for us. She retired at an early age so she could be home with me to make sure that I got off the school bus in a timely fashion, or safely, or that sometimes she would pick me up from school so I wouldn't be home alone by myself like a latchkey kid. So for her doing things like that, I can't thank her enough. I truly can't thank her enough. So I would say my mommy would be mine.
Don't y'all just love that? Oh my gosh. Shout out to mom, okay? That's amazing and so sweet. Whew, I would say, like, black women, we are something else, okay?
Right, yes. We're fierce. We're fierce. A force to be reckoned with.
From having kids to having careers to owning your own business. I mean, the list goes on for things that we can do. Now, you've had your business for, quite some time. You've had other ventures as well. And you mentioned that some of those businesses didn't quite work out.
Yeah.
Now, but you didn't stop there. You kept going.
Right.
What are some tips that you would give the folks, which is what I call my people, I call them the folks. What are some tips you could give the folks on ways to keep going? Some advice, some business advice on how, not to give up, or just some key tips to keep them motivated to keep going?
I would say, depending upon what type of business venture you're going to start, I would say start with yourself. Maintain your own personal growth first with having a good credit score. Because if you're trying to get a brick and mortar business or, a high value business, you need to have good credit because you have to develop business credit. But before you develop business credit, you have to have good personal credit. So maintaining a really good credit score, paying your bills on time, being responsible, and look at all of your opportunities that may be around you. You may have opportunities sitting right next to you and you may not even know it. So don't turn your nose up to a quote unquote small opportunity, because it may very well be a big opportunity that may help you down the line. And just continuing to develop relationships. Like I told you when I first met you, I'm like, Kiera, you have been my BFF in my head for so long, and now we're actually friends and, building a budding friendship. So, just maintaining relationships with other people, because you just never know who can help you do what, and just, who can help pass the baton over to you to help you in your business, and then likewise.
Facts.
So those would be my biggest takeaways.
Those are good takeaways. Good advice. Work on your personal credit first. I think that's hello.
Yeah.
If you don't have good credit, what are we doing?
Exactly. And no one will take you serious with poor credit. The banks will not even look at you if you have a poor credit score, because it shows how responsible you are. And they will not give you, a $100,000 loan with poor credit. That's just what it is. So definitely maintaining good credit is number one.
Y'all hear that? Maintain good credit, all right? So because representation is so important, what are you doing to pay it forward, or what have you done to pay it forward in this community?
Well, we are going to be one of the few restaurants that are partnering with Feeding Tampa Bay. We will have the opportunity to feed up to 1,500 families in the Tampa Bay community. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. The numbers of people that cannot afford meals or simply don't have, food in their refrigerator is staggering just in our area alone. So when they approached us with partnering with them, we said absolutely, hands down, no questions asked, sign us up, we want to do it. So that is definitely one way that we're trying to build up not only our name and recognition in the community, but also, feed needy families, children in particular.
I love that. Don't y'all just love that? I have had such a good time with you. I'm so excited to try this food, y'all. And what more can we say? Like, you are amazing to me. I am so excited to have met you. I'm excited and looking like I don't even know. Like, I know there's so much more for us. This is only the beginning for this partnership, and I am just over the moon. Anytime I see a black woman that's doing, I'm like, yes. Yes.
I agree. I'm with you wholeheartedly. I always, just want to know more about that woman and want to get to know them and figure out their story, because we all have stories.
Exactly.
And it's all about her story. So I'm for it. I'm with you 100%.
Okay, y'all. Well, that's it. That's all we got. Thank you so much for tuning in. Priscilla, why don't you let them know your Instagram and where they can find this restaurant?
Okay. Well, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at EUG Riverview. That's for Eggs Up Grill Riverview. We are on all the social media platforms, and we are located at 3920 US Highway 301 in Riverview, Florida.
All right. See you on the next one. Bye.